Welcome to TARTLEcast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path.
He's making a list,
checking it twice. Dude, I every time you have that cup, my Starbucks is so amazing. And we were talking to the designer and we were looking at some Starbucks stuff the other day. But just to have like the whale tail, the Chinook salmon, and then Bigfoot, they just encapsulated everything. Chopping wood, Mount Rainier,
yeah, they got
apples.
Good stuff in here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from there. I mean, I would probably say that's where I've lived the most.
Mountain goat
is Washington State. Yeah, they have a ton of mountain goats, and I love watching them like move all around. They literally have no Fs. They don't
hop on the shittiest rock. When
you do rock climbing.
When I rock climb and I like step on a chip, I'm like, dang, that's small. It's like a quarter of an inch, and I'm like, I can't believe my foot's supporting it. The goat's just like whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah, they just bounce off of it.
That's what it is.
I wonder how many of them die.
Tons all the time.
Oh, they don't care?
No, they die all the time. And what about those big hawks or eagles that rip them off the side of the cliff? You
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's
great footage.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
What does it have to do with Santa Claus?
Oh, dude, that was great. It's just like this big hawk just pulls this big poor,
just flipping through midair.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, let's talk about Santa Claus, kids.
Yeah, checking it twice. Gonna find out how many ground isotopes you have. Santa Claus is coming to Buzzards Bay.
Yes, Buzzards Bay. We're gonna talk about that.
I used to row there.
Yeah, you were a collegiate rower, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used. Yeah, so I did rowing in Buzzards Bay. I've rowed down, in Princeton. I've rowed all over the place, the world.
How much is a single rower?
A single?
Like, are they fiberglass, wood? I mean, if you wanted to just
carbon fiber.
So let's say I buy my lake house and I wanted to have a rower there just for morning exercise.
Like the machine?
No, a rower
like a boat.
Yeah, like a small one where I could row out on a lake.
Like a single, probably like 10 plus G's.
Really?
Yeah. You get the big boys, they're like $55K.
Yeah,
One with 8 people in it. Carbon fiber, all glassed up.
But they have a single one?
Hydrophobic coating, yeah.
I'll have to
Singles, doubles,
be
quads,
cool.
eights.
It'd be better than a kayak where you're going like this. Because you get full.
You get the full body motion. Even Da Vinci appreciated rowing because it was a full movement. What am I talking about? Oh, that lake. Groundwater. Nobody wants to build on, dirty, polluted land, do you? No, so up in Buzzards Bay in Massachusetts, it's on the, the hook, if you're looking at a map.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at
Cape Cod is in the hook area, and then underneath that's Buzzards Bay on the other side of that arm. So these climate scientists at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute and other places have found that for a long time we've lacked certain data that has come from groundwater isotopes. And these isotopes define in the soil of the ocean what climate used to look like and what sort of life-sustaining elements are going into the water so that it feeds the phytoplankton, which is the basis for a huge majority of ocean life. And those elements are, can you name them, please, so we sound smart?
The elements here, they are measure level these elements and others in deep sea sediments to reconstruct certain aspects of Earth's history. For instance, they can look at how intense the breakdown of Earth's crust has been over time or how much carbon has been stored in the ocean. So they're getting all this from groundwater. Yeah. Until now, though a piece of the data has been missing, the groundwater piece.
Yeah, nobody was doing a good job collecting that groundwater data.
Right.
And now we have the technology to put these into our large data sets and run these through these models, these climate models, to see what effect this has had in the past and what maybe it'll have in the future. What are the isotopes? I know it's closer towards the beginning. What's it say up here?
I'm reading it right now.
Brontium, strontium. What was it?
If you see that word, like climate is this is talking about nutrients, phytoplankton. That's, here it is. So important climate. Lithium.
Yeah. So keep going. Yeah.
Lithium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, and barium.
Yeah. So all of these things are leaching out of the groundwater and they go into the salt water of the ocean. And from that, creates a chemical mixture that is conducive for phytoplankton to go in and use that as energy along with the sunlight to, keep splitting into more cells. And then from that, larger organisms feed off of it, and larger through the chain of events through the entire ocean. But what you find is that not only is it that accruing towards the phytoplankton blooms, it's also going into the substrates that are, on the water, the actual crust. So as you dig down into the crust, you can check those levels of those elements against how much you are receiving from the actual groundwater now. And so it can tell you the differential of what the climate used to look like, the amount of decay and breakdown it's had, and where we are at this very moment in comparison to our past. And so this piece has really helped out with all of the research that has been on just the larger state and health of the ocean affecting our climate. Now we can pull in the freshwater data to come in and pair with it, because we really only had 50% of the picture. And now you have that, again, they call it the Santa Claus because it's delivering the presents, which is the data on these isotopes to all these researchers that needed it for their climate models.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said I consider myself a geochemical Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think it might be a she.
Yeah, Kimberly Mayfield.
Yeah,
well, Santa Claus. I was thinking, dude,
2 for 2, Jason.
I know. Yeah, 2 for 2, bro. She said it with a laugh, the article says. She says the research part for her doctoral thesis at the University of California, Santa Cruz took years of chemical analysis and lots of begging groundwater samples off strangers and colleagues.
Yeah, and so this is akin to everything else that we see in big data. Everyone's trying to solve for an unknown, but they make so many guesses because they're missing that key component. And for a majority of us, if you're not studying climate research, the key component is human beings.
Yes.
Hands down. But can you read the final quote from the gentleman over at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, which is in the Cape, or Falmouth, I think. And so we can...
it's the senior scientist.
It's a little bit of a misnomer here. So
he said, certainly they'll be more accurate because this is something that really hasn't been accounted for. And then we want to improve climate models for reasons that I believe are obvious at this point. If you ground truth a model and it does a very good job of understanding, predicting climates in the past, that it's going to do a good job with climates in the future. Yeah.
That's your number one problem. We've seen this in finance. And what do they always say to get rid of their liability? Historical gains are not indicative of future earnings, or whatever it is. Historical data is not indicative of future earnings. It will predict in some sort of extrapolated pattern. Is it going to be accurate? Probably not. Is it great that we have more, that we've solved for this unknown? Yes. But the past is not indicative of the future.
Exactly.
The now, the moment is indicative of what's going to happen 10 seconds from now.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look at those moments, not time in a linear fashion. Right?
Yeah, unless you can manufacture the future. I know, speaking of finance, these machine algorithms looking at all these candlestick patterns, charts and stuff from the past. But they're actually, because there's so many of them trading now, they're actually creating a future based off of the past just because the model...
That's what the algorithm's forcing it to do.
Yeah, it's forcing it to do. But it has nothing really to do because they said candlestick patterns are about 20% accurate. Yeah. It's almost as accurate as a hunch.
Candlestick patterns are 20% accurate, and 85% of the trading that goes through the financial systems are done by robotic algorithms.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Yeah.
So we have 16% accuracy on all trades, and it's mostly run by computers. 16% trading accuracy?
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look
it's form-fitting the future. It's not even, they're just saying this is what it is.
Yeah, as long as they can create. And then what's funny is you look at these big, especially when you're, what do they call those guys the big billionaires and stuff like that have the funds for the elite?
Fat cats? What?
Yeah, no, not fat cats.
Robber barons.
No, the ones that have, and they have like a little safety bonus in there to make sure at the end, as long as they're getting like 8-9% increase in their special funds, and you have to have like over $1 million before you can invest in them. People are yelling it on.
I don't want to say like blue sky funds or something like that.
Yeah, but I know. I've read books on these guys and everything else. I have a book right there.
Well, apparently you need to read another one.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. But they have all these, they're not ETFs or any of that. They're these special funds that, like 1% of the world invests in. But, and they have these guys that control them.
We'll call them SPVs, special purpose vehicles.
Yeah. And they have these guys that control them. And they were like, they went through all their investing and decided, and it was like out of the hundreds or thousands of trades that they made, there was like one or two that actually made them profitable.
Yeah, you can take all these losses as long as you have a big swing that wipes everything else out.
It's like everybody now buying Bitcoin, at 8 or 10,000, and then it went up to 25, 30,000. So they ended up making they ended up making all of their gains for 2020 just off of cryptocurrency.
Well, it's a good hedging strategy.
Yes, hedge funds. There we go.
Oh my gosh, that's what you were looking for?
That's what I was looking for, bro.
Oh my goodness.
But because the hedge fund managers are, a couple of them are billionaires.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And a lot of their money is made on management fees, not actually winning on the trades.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Santa Claus.
Speaking of Santa Claus delivering me a big old check, right? No, listen, groundwater isotopes, extremely important. I don't want that individual Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute to fall prey to the same issues we see in finance.
Mm-hmm.
Do not manufacture a future that is a lie. And the reason I say that is because we don't want to manufacture something that'll say, oh, things are looking stable when it's really getting worse.
Yeah, and we know that. I mean, over and over again, we harp on this. We've heard, we have 70 years left, on this planet before it's irreversible.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need bad models.
We don't
Not right now.
This is not a time for bad models.
Right.
It's a time to be accurate.
It's a time for unity.
It's a time for unity in Santa Claus.
And that's number 4. On our list.
Love that.
Global peace.
Global peace.
And creating unity. That's, TARTLE's big 7, if you want to call them, and how people can give towards data. How easy is it on TARTLE to give towards global peace or to give towards climate stability or human rights or public health?
Pressing your thumb on the screen maybe 3 or 4 times.
And you can
just help. That easy. Is there certain functions of global peace you want to share your data and your earnings towards? Oh,
so I'm creating all this data. I'm going on these social media sites. I'm going on Medium. I'm going on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
VK.
I'm going on VK, the Russian one. Yeah, I love that. I'm going on all these different sites.
Yeah,
just desktop, my phone,
4chan.
Yeah, I'm going on them all.
Silk Road.
Yeah, I'm going on all that stuff. So I can literally take what I'm doing now and go on the TARTLE marketplace.
Yep.
Sell that.
Turn it into an asset. Share it.
Wow.
Get paid for sharing.
So I get money.
I get to increase my asset base.
Right.
That's fun.
Yes.
I get to increase my earnings, and I get to share data towards causes I care about. Oh, and wait a minute. Do I want to donate some of my money and then go talk to my accountant that I donated funds? Wow, that's pretty cool. I shared data.
Right.
Got a little bit of a tax break.
Yes.
And I'm helping solve global problems. I'm helping unify the world.
And it's as simple as going to TARTLE.co.
And if people at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute want to get data on, groundwater, well, why don't you ask all the people in the local area what detergents they're using? How much Clorox they're flushing down their pipes? How much they're destroying the groundwater in these beautiful isotopes and upsetting it with all this petroleum-based chemistry? Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Consumption. It's amazing how people are key drivers to, our climate and what its outcome is.
Yeah. And that's number 1 for us is climate stability. If we don't have a healthy globe,
there's no point in having TARTLE, politics, wars, peace, anything.
All this stuff you're arguing over for, your grandkids are going to be, I'm going to use a mean word here. Your grandkids are fucked.
Yeah. Be on a burning planet with all the money you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
All those beaches in Tahiti and stuff like that.
Yeah, gone.
Gone.
Yeah, those islands.
Washed over. You're going to have to scuba dive down to them.
Yeah. That's
like off the coast of Japan to those big sunken cities.
Certain areas that are able to have crops, frozen. Certain areas that are 60, 70, 80 degrees are going to be 100 and something degrees. Inhabitable, Africa, parts of Africa. It's already at 120, 125 degrees. You get to 130, 140, you can't live there.
Arizona's not going to exist. The place is going to see. It's all artificially pumping in water to its major cities. Bye.
Yeah, that's all gone.
See you later. Miami, bye. Yeah. Coastal California, see you later.
Yeah. This is there are models out there that show this. You can see it in graphic models that show what happens.
All of our beautiful Micronesian islands,
all gone.
Gone. If a hurricane doesn't get them first, rising tides will.
But I like with TARTLE how we use the word climate stability, because we're not political.
No.
As data is not political, TARTLE's not political. We have we're not saying, hey, we're liberal and we want to help the climate, bro.
No. Here's the data.
Yes.
This is exactly what it's showing without any bias.
Yes.
We're just going to observe what it has said before we come to any sort of judgment. Okay. The data is showing that the climate is heading in a poor direction for us. The outlook looks bleak.
Yes.
Do you know when, if you go on your weather app for your phone and it says, running air quality bad, not a good day to run, not a good chance of survival for humanity up here.
Yes,
okay?
exactly.
So let's look at this data, not politically, no bias, no dogmas, completely agnostic, and let's stabilize what we have. We don't want to use any political charge terminology, nothing like that. We can look at something that's completely equal, positive, and beneficial to everybody. Stabilization.
Stabilization. I love that word.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to TartleCast with your hosts Alexander McKegg and Jason Rigby, where humanity steps into the future and source data defines the path. What's your data worth?